Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And a good morning to you. I am Mark Austin, live in Uvalde, Texas, about 90 minutes west of San Antonio. Back to school has begun. We were live all morning long with team coverage from here as they return to class at the public schools, Uvalde CISD. We wanted to check in with you now that school has actually begun, the school day. Uvalde Elementary School actually opened around 7:40 this morning. Around sunrise, teachers and staff started showing up, and then a steady stream of buses and a line of cars as parents are dropping kids off. Let's show you some of that video. Except for DPS troopers scattered around campus, today felt very normal, with staff greeting students curbside, lots of smiles and a few hugs as these children begin third or fourth grade. We can tell you that parents were not talking to the media, but I did speak with one family off camera. They said they were glad to be here and they had to move along because they had to get their other child to school. State Senator Roland Gutierrez arrived here a little while ago. Let's hear some of what he had to say on this first day back to class.
Well, Mark, it's surreal. You know, very early on today we went by Rob, and it's certainly kind of an eerie feeling to see the school as it stands now. And here at this school, we're certainly share the frustrations of some families as you travel from the different schools and see some of the nice new fencing. There is other schools that don't have fencing as yet. I'm going to shoot a letter off to the governor's office.
All right, of note, Uvalde Elementary School is the new home of teachers and support staff from Robb Elementary. But back to business, the school day has begun. Of course, security is on everyone's mind. We've seen a steady state trooper presence here around the campus and on campus all morning long. Also, the big discussion all summer long has been those fences behind me, those 8-foot non-scalable fences. They have begun work on those at about half of the schools in this district, but they're not done. We can even tell you that some of the work was continuing on some of that fence work here at Uvalde Elementary School just a little while ago. So it's definitely a work in progress. Our team coverage continues. Let's check in with Sarah Costa. She is live across town at Dalton Elementary.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Yeah, here at Dalton Elementary, this is where pre-K through second grade students, they've already started their school day for the first day of school. Now, a much more calm scene now than it was at 7 o'clock this morning. Just take a look at that video from during the drop-off hour, a jam-packed one during that drop-off line for safety measures, but also in regards to safety. Here we also saw DPS troopers doing patrols starting at 5 a.m., then troopers on campus throughout the day. Another safety measure, no one allowed on campus that is not a teacher, student, or staff. That included parents walking in to drop off students for the first day of school, hence that long drop-off line. Now, we spoke with a handful of parents dropping off their kids, a lot of nervous parents, but one parent told us that even though she is anxious, the one thing keeping her at ease, the fact that her 3 kids are excited to be back in school, and seeing those 3 little ones in the back of her car, excited. Even one first grade girl showing me her brand new big bow that said Uvalde Strong and telling me that she was excited. It was definitely heartwarming to see. And it's stories like that, stories of families wanting to heal and move forward. It's starting to become a trend that I'm seeing when I'm talking to these families here in Uvalde, that they're ready to heal. And it's what one family told me earlier this month. They had a 3rd grader at Robb Elementary School. She is now in a different school starting the 4th grade. And she says it's been a long road to that normalcy again. But she said staying positive is what's kept them afloat.
Like activities, art, sports, and just stuff that makes me happy.
Stuff that makes her happy. It's what Gina Garcia, mother to 4th grader Flor Lara, says they have been focusing on as a family to help heal and move forward. But it's taken a lot of work to find those moments of joy again. Flor was in 3rd grade at Robb Elementary and inside the school during the day of the horrific shooting that left 21 dead. Some of those that died were friends and relatives to Gina and Flor. It's why 2 days after the tragedy, they both began counseling, something Gina originally never thought they would need.
To be honest, no, because as a Hispanic culture, they don't believe in counseling. It's kind of, it is what it is, and you move on. But it's a different time we're living now.
Flor sees a private counselor or one through her new school, Sacred Heart Catholic School, almost every day. Gina has gone to a handful of sessions as well. She says it gives her patience and helps her while Flor continues to unpack the trauma she has experienced.
It gives you a way of understanding as a parent how to deal with their emotions.
Like you talk to them and like they make you feel better, like it's like somebody to talk to.
Flor says through counseling, she has learned to express how she feels through art. When she draws, she feels peace and joy. She says playing soccer has also helped her find happiness again. Gina says they take part in many community events and focus on family outings like Sunday church and meals.
I think it's helped us a lot as a family, as Flor and me, to be able to move forward and be able to understand the motions of the process and to try to be able to learn how to live with it and be positive and try to find some peace and joy in our lives.
And there are still some hard days, Gina says, but understands that is part of the process. Flor says she also knows it's okay to laugh again, finding that laughter at her new school in the classroom from her teacher.
Right now, my teacher, his name is Mr. Penado. He's really funny.
Being able to laugh again, of all places, in the classroom thanks to her teacher. And, you know, Gina Garcia told me that she was very nervous for the first day of school. They're at Sacred Heart. They got a scholarship. And she said she even took half of the day off. But she said when Flor got in the car and told her about how much she loved her new teacher and how excited she was for the school year, she says that's what's giving her ease. Now, she does have an 8th grader that's starting today with Uvalde CISD, and she just hopes that the school district can make her middle schooler feel safe and at ease, just like Flor is feeling over at Sacred Heart. I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Sarah. Our team coverage of the first day of school in Uvalde will continue throughout the day today. Look for more coverage both online and on the news at noon, as well as a couple more times we'll return to Uvalde in this hour.
And right now it is 9:05 and 76 degrees outside. Let's look out there at a live cam. We had a little bit of rain here and there this weekend, and now we have a little bit of humidity.
A little bit. It is humid out there right now. There's some good news in that sense, is that we're going to see some lower humidity levels, I think, as we get later into the week, especially during the afternoon hours. I want to start with the radar, though. We've got some showers and storms down along the coast from Rockport to Port A. Still some rain coming down. It was pretty rainy there this weekend. We've also noticed that there's an outflow boundary that's kind of floating out there, moving north away from those storms. Could that spark off a few more? It's possible. Down around Goliad, Victoria, Beeville. We'll keep an eye on that. I think this probably stays well south of San Antonio, though. We're not really expecting much throughout the day, so our rain chances, just 10% today. We will bring them up to 30% tomorrow. We've got a disturbance rolling through. We should see some isolated showers and storms. And then after that, the rain shuts off. It's a dry forecast going into the end of the week and the weekend. Forecast, 87 by noontime today, mostly sunny. We're up around 93 by 4 p.m. Just a 10% chance of rain today. And we'll see temperatures right around 91, 6 p.m., 89 by 7 p.m., and then mostly clear, 86 at 8 p.m. We'll talk more about our rain chances tomorrow. We also look into the tropics. There's a lot going on there, as you would expect this time of year. That's coming up in just a bit. We go over to Stephen now. How are things looking out on the roadways?
Well, unfortunately, Justin, we do have some traffic trouble out there. 1604 Kitty Hawk, you can see a portion of a slowdown out there, but 281 at St. Mary's, things look just fine. But as we get a quick look around town, US 90 at Nogalitos, there at 37 at Carolina, a lot of these TransGuide cameras aren't showing too much of a bad commute, but there along 35 is where we do have some issues. But we're first going to take you over here to the far west side of Bexar County, there off Loop 1604 in the southbound lanes, not far from Shanefield. You see a little bit of a buildup there, and that is because a crash has been reported by TxDOT. It's not really causing major issues, but 1604, as we all know, is one of those busy corridors, so just make sure you watch out, especially as you approach Shanefield Road. However, one of the bigger issues continues to be along here off 35 on the opposite side of town, near the northeast side, off I-35 southbound near Loop 410. That's where we see that buildup of yellow and orange that's showing on the map, which you know what that means. We're seeing some pretty big slowdowns. If you are still at home and and you have to travel down 35, here's a quick solution I would recommend. You can exit Schertz Parkway and turn left at Lookout Road. I've mapped that out for you in blue. Just continue a little further and then you'll end up hitting the past 1604. But you may see some slowdowns still along the way, and that's really what we're seeing right now on the roadways, just a lot of those slowdowns. So just remember to drive safe, pack your patience, and be kind to one another out on the roadways. David, Steph.
Thanks, Stephen. It is 9:08, 76 degrees, still ahead on GMSA at 9.
Fire has killed 2 people and forced evacuations in parts of California. The new threat residents now face and what areas are dealing with record flooding. And welcome back. Time now, 9/11. This morning, there's a threat of rolling blackouts as California faces record-breaking heat. Now, some parts of the state are seeing all-time record high temperatures.
Overnight, another deadly wildfire breaking out, several homes up in flames. Meanwhile, in the east, just as we head back to work and back to school, millions of people are under flood alerts. Several inches of rain overnight, adding to the danger.
ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the latest.
This morning, extreme heat on the West Coast is straining California's power grid and fueling deadly wildfires. This fire erupting southeast of Los Angeles last night, forcing evacuations and burning multiple homes in Riverside County, killing at least 2 people.
Fire coming down the hill, got houses out in front of it.
In Northern California, crews are making progress fighting a wildfire that's also claimed the lives of 2 people. The fire threat coming during a historic heat wave. The Bay Area recording an all-time high temperature yesterday. The city of Livermore hitting 116 degrees. People in California have experienced temperatures 20 degrees above normal for nearly a week with little relief in sight.
We've now entered the most intense phase of this heat wave.
Now the state's power company warns high demand today could lead to rotating power outages or rolling blackouts. Officials are calling for 2 to 3 times more power conservation than is usual during power grid alerts.
We know it's been a long haul, and it's about to get even more difficult.
Meanwhile, along the East Coast, more severe flooding.
Oh my God.
Holiday travelers getting stranded on a flooded Interstate 95 in Rhode Island, where more than 4 inches of rain fell in a short amount of time. In Providence, authorities say no one was inside this building when it collapsed during the storm. The city even bringing in snow plows to help with flooded streets.
And more rain is falling from the mid-Atlantic to the northeast today. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Families across North Texas feeling the effects of the severe storms that hit the area over Labor Day weekend. Strong winds, heavy rain hitting parts of the region on Sunday. Trees cut down. Many power outages across the area were caused by those trees going down as well.
That's right. The Dallas Zoo had to close on Labor Day as a result of those storms. And according to Dallas officials, the storms knocked down several large trees at the zoo, forcing a shutdown and staff to turn down visitors. Now, today, most of the people in that community are focusing on cleaning up debris, and crews were on site working to restore power in some parts of Dallas. Luckily, no staff or animals were hurt at the zoo in Dallas.
We've had a lot of rain lately, but nothing like that.
I know. It's a little calm. Little calm here, you know, just humid for now, but at least some people got rain.
Yeah, Saturday was a good day. Labor Day turned out to be pretty quiet, and we're heading to more of a dry pattern, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it. But we're not expecting a lot of rain this week, other than maybe tomorrow. There's an opportunity tomorrow to get some showers and storms. Let's start with the radar, and we showed you this earlier, a lot of rain down along the coast from Corpus over to Port Lavaca. And you can see there is some heavy rain mixed in there in spots. We've got some lightning strikes, but most of that is just off the coast. What we are noticing, though, is an outflow boundary right there. You can see it on radar headed towards Beeville. So far, it hasn't kicked up any storms. I don't know that it will, but as it moves northwest, there's a possibility we see a little more rain. Now, I think all this stays well south and east of San Antonio today. We're not looking for a lot of rain here. Can't rule out a pop-up shower storm, but it's not likely. As we go outside for you, we've got mostly cloudy skies. 76 at the airport, 78 Stinson, 75 Kelly. Not a lot of wind out there. What wind we are seeing is out of the west, anywhere from 5 to 10. 72 Kerrville, pretty nice this morning in the hill country, by the way. 72 Rock Springs, 74 in Uvalde, mostly mid-70s here around San Antonio at this hour with some of those clouds building in. What about the humidity? Well, it is high, and it does stay rather high today. Dew points will finish the day out in the mid-60s, but I think as we go throughout the week, you'll see this number in the afternoon especially drop into the low 60s, which is still humid, but not as bad as it could be. In some places, maybe even see dew points in the 50s, which will feel pretty nice. But today, it stays fairly humid, and we'll see a heat index. So with temperatures right around 93, it'll feel more like 95, 96 this afternoon. in most spots. 93 in New Braunfels, 94 Seguin, 89 in Forestville today. Probably the temperature showing a little bit cooler here because of a potential of maybe some cloud cover, maybe a shower or two, as I said. And as we look at the big picture here, there's all the rain off the coast there. Most of the rain is away from Texas and the Gulf of Mexico right now. But as we look out west, these temperatures are pretty incredible. This is where the big heat is. That heat high is shifted over the west coast, and these are the forecast high temperatures today. 115 at Sacramento, 112 Bakersfield, 112 Palm Springs. These are all near records, and it's because that big ridge of high pressure is sitting right over top of them, and they're probably going to get a few more days of this heat. For us, we're sort of on the edge of this ridge of high pressure. And there's a disturbance up here around Minnesota that slides south right along the edge of that ridge. And as it moves in tomorrow, I think that gives us the energy we need to get some showers and storms going. Rain chances today, only about 10%. You can see here on the forecast just a couple of showers here and there. But as we get into tomorrow, by the afternoon hours, we're going to bring the rain chances up 20% at 2 o'clock. You start to see some pop-ups, and then we'll go 30% chance by 5 p.m. There could be a few good downpours out there by that time, and then with the loss of daytime heating, we'll see all the rain go away by tomorrow evening. So the KSAT 12-hour forecast, 87 by noontime. We're up around 92 by 3 p.m., 93 by 4 p.m., and there's that small chance of rain. 86 at 8 o'clock, mostly clear, and we'll see those southerly winds anywhere from 5 to 10 miles per hour. Extended forecast, 30% chance tomorrow, 94, 95 Thursday, 95 Friday, 95 Saturday. A few more clouds on Sunday. Hint that there could be a weak frontal boundary. I'm not convinced of that yet. We're not going to put it in forecast, but we're starting to get to that point where we're talking about fronts at least. They're getting a little bit closer, and eventually we'll see one come through here and give us a good cool down. Not yet, though.
I hope so.
Yeah.
We like to hear him talk about those fronts, though.
Yeah. We'll listen to you talk about it first.
Okay, fair enough.
Thanks, Justin.
Yeah.
All right, I want to get to that stunning upset at the U.S. Open, an American taking down superstar Rafael Nadal.
And his name is Francis Tiafoe, and he has quite a story. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has more.
Grand Slam champion Rafael Nadal in 4 sets. The 24-year-old American emotional as the moment washed over him. Beating Nadal is already a major achievement, but it's Tiafoe's journey that makes it all the more remarkable. Before he became a star on the tennis court, he was living on one, literally. For years, he, his brother, and his father, an immigrant from Sierra Leone, slept on the floor of a Maryland tennis center where Tiafoe's dad worked as a janitor. Tiafoe learned the sport by watching other kids play and used their discarded rackets to practice against a wall until the center eventually allowed him to train free of charge. It didn't take long for him to demonstrate that he could be great.
My dad's like, it would be awesome if you guys can, use this to get a scholarship. And I was like, it would be awesome if I can use this to change our life, right?
Last night, his family looking on as he defeated
in front of my family, in front of my mom, my dad, Franklin, my twin brother, my girlfriend, my team.
On James honoring him, tweeting, "Congrats, young king. You earned it." Tiafoe is the last remaining American in the men's draw. He's also the youngest American man to reach the quarterfinals in 16 years. His next match is tomorrow. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Congratulations to him. We need a new generation of tennis stars. These other guys have been around for a long time.
That is true, and they're they're ready to work already.
They are. It was a great job last night. 9:19, 77 degrees.
And coming next, why these 3 businesses at the Alamo Plaza had to close their doors for good and what is going to take their place.
Say goodbye to attractions like Ripley's Haunted Adventure and some longtime tenants of the Alamo Plaza in downtown San Antonio.
So what was once a tourist attraction is now packing up their things and closing, and that's because they're making way for a museum. The 3 Alamo Plaza businesses, Guinness World Records Museum, Ripley's Haunted Adventure, and Tomb Raider 3D Adventure Ride and Arcade are all permanently closing to make room for the Alamo Visitor Center and Museum, which is set to open in 2026. Now, Phillips Entertainment, the owners of the businesses, previously told KSAT that the 3 businesses would not be relocating because, quote, there is no place to go. And we all know the struggle. Do you hesitate to open your email inbox because it's out of control? And you're not alone.
But it may be time to clear out those old or unread emails. 12 on your side, Maryland's Moore shows us the easiest ways to get rid of all that digital clutter.
I never deleted any, so I had more than 200,000 emails.
You heard right, 200,000 emails. But when Nicholas De Leon got an email from Google saying he was about to be charged for more storage for his Gmail account, he decided it was time to clean up.
I became very dedicated to eliminating those kind of like little subscriptions from my life.
Google makes digital house cleaning a little easier with its storage manager.
So if you have like photos or videos or like giant PDFs or things like that, it'll highlight, be like, hey, you've got all this stuff. Do you want to delete it?
Next, he searched his account for companies he interacts with a lot.
I don't need, electronics retailer circulars from 2009.
You can also use the search tool to find emails with attachments or ones from certain dates. You can even create a filter to delete the email it catches.
Over the course of 2 days, a couple hours each day, it was more than 100,000 emails I was able to delete.
Also, take note of any old digital accounts you don't use anymore. Keeping them open is risky.
The companies could be hacked and the information could get into the wrong hands.
You can find forgotten accounts using the welcome email you got when signing up, and check your saved passwords. If you signed up for any accounts through social media like Facebook, you'll find them there. And be choosy about which recurring ads and newsletters you sign up for. If you're not reading them, it's time to unsubscribe. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Time now, 9:25 and 77 degrees for now.
Still coming up on GMSA, we're going to take back to Uvalde, but before we do that, we're going to show you some roads around San Antonio. They all look pretty good. Traffic moving and moving and moving.
Not there.
Well, not that. Not quite. It's moving, but
slowly.
Creeping.
Yeah.
And welcome back to Uvalde. Mark Austin along with Sarah Costa. We've been out here all morning long, and the story does not stop here, of course. Our coverage continues online and, of course, in our later newscast. But Sarah was nice enough to come over to this location here at Uvalde Elementary School this morning. And I just wanted to chat with her, maybe back and forth here a little bit about what the morning has been like as far as from our perspective. We've had to do what you would probably admit is a difficult job.
Absolutely.
We have to talk to everybody that we can, but we have to do it in a respectful manner.
It's a really touch and go because you do want to be respectful. I mean, you can feel the community, that feeling is still very palpable, that hurting feeling. But also one thing that I've really seen here is a trend of families wanting to move on. They're wanting to heal and wanting to take a positive road. Now, that road to recovery isn't always going to be an easy one.
Right.
But I think some of the families I've talked to have done a lot of work, a lot of counseling to get emotionally and mentally ready for today, Mark.
Now, you and I were both prepared for today. We were going to obviously ask families if they wanted to talk to us. Almost everybody declined an on-camera interview. Did you see that was the case over at Dalton as well?
Yes, but we actually did get some parents to talk to us on camera. Okay. And it was, of course, during a hectic time to begin with. They're anxious because it's the first day of school.
Right.
They're not allowed to physically go in and drop off their kids. They're in this really jam-packed drop-off line. But some parents that we talked to, one woman got emotional. She said she was feeling anxious, but the one thing that was putting her at ease, Mark, was that she had 3 kids that were giddy and excited to go back. These are little kids. These are kindergartners through 2nd graders. I had a 1st grader with a big bow that was like, look at my new bow. It said Uvalde Strong. So that kind of, that got my heart. It was nice to see that some of these kids are excited to start school and get back to almost like normalcy.
Well, and that's what I was going to say, that the good thing about this morning, and this was our hope, was that it would feel a little bit more normal this morning, and it did, except for the law enforcement presence, which I'm sure you saw as well. DPS troopers scattered throughout the campus, but media stayed away for the most part. We did talk to some families, and overall everybody seemed to be very much anticipating getting back into a routine, getting back to normal, and the key obviously was getting kids in the building and with their teachers again.
And that's right, but we did see some of those safety measures that were implemented over at Dalton. That high fence that you're looking at right there was complete at Dalton Elementary. I know those aren't complete at all of the schools. They're not allowing anyone physically on campus. And those DPS troopers, they started patrolling, making the loops around the school and patrolling as early as 5:30 in the morning.
Right.
And then just being physically present on campus throughout the day.
All right, well, I can say this, and you most likely agree, Sarah. 3 months and change is not a long time. This community has come a long way, and of course, our thoughts and prayers are with Uvalde CISD, those parents, teachers, and staff as they return to class. She and I are going to work on some stories coming up at noon. Sound good?
That sounds good. We're going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thank you guys for the live coverage. Definitely our thoughts are with everybody out there. And yeah, I mean, it's good to see some of the kiddos wanting to go back to school.
Excited to get back to the class, and you can tell those teachers were excited to welcome those kids. So, so all the good things. So hopefully they'll have a great day on their first day back at school.
Yes.
And it's a great weather day to go back to school because
it's not pouring rain, right? It looks beautiful out there with live cam.
Yeah, and it won't be too scorching hot when they head to the playground. I mean, it'll be hot, but not as hot as we've seen for a lot of the summer, right? Pollen count is in, and molds have dropped off a little bit. They're still in the high category, so it's still around 2,760. Fall, elm, and grass are both low. Those numbers dropped as well. Here's a look at the satellite picture, and we're starting to get a little better scene here as far as clouds are concerned. You can see where we're seeing some of the cloud cover, the morning clouds up around the hill country and then down to the south. But most of San Antonio is looking at mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. And then you look down to the coast, that's where some of the rain is this morning, stretching from Victoria down to Corpus Christi. That'll stick around for another couple of hours, but it stays well to the south and east of San Antonio. Right now, 77 at the airport, 78 in New Braunfels, 76 in Gonzales, mainly mid-70s here around San Antonio. This morning, we make our way into the 90s this afternoon. Rain chances, just a 10% chance today. We'll see an isolated shower storm, but a little better chance tomorrow, 30% chance on your Wednesday. We talk more about that. We look back at the rainfall. Are we getting rid of our deficit? Are we chipping away at it? We'll look at the numbers, plus the tropics. We've got the latest there coming up in just a couple minutes. Guys.
Thank you, Justin. Let's look outside with TransGuide right now. This camera shows I-37 at Hackberry where things are moving, also at Highway 281 at Hildebrand. But earlier, I think it was around Wiedner Road, there was like a big holdup, just to let you know. That is not a real shot right there. There you go. That's for real. Oh no, I'm jinxing the cameras. Okay, wait. Loop 410, Fredericksburg Road looks good. But yeah, if you're traveling around the Wiedner area at I-35, I believe, a little bit of a holdup there. So you may want to find an alternate route.
It's like that camera was playing in the UTSA Houston game and took a hit.
Yeah,
right there at the end.
It was rocking right there, right? I mean, the dome was rocking on Saturday night. Yeah, it was a great atmosphere there. Unfortunate for the Roadrunners. They fought hard, came up a little bit short here.
You know, and I think the key play was towards the end of the regulation when Roadrunners got called for that penalty for was it illegal substitution on defense and kept that Cougar drive alive. And then I know that Trailer took credit for that.
Yeah, he did.
Blame for it, however you want to look at it.
He did, and the way he said it was that it was his mistake. He wanted to put this loss on the old ball coach, as he calls himself, and he said that at that point, yeah, they had also lost momentum earlier in the game. So he said a lot of coaching things kind of went into play in this loss. But again, the kids played great. Frank Harris obviously had himself a great game, and it was a great matchup just in general.
Yeah, and you know, you talk about the number 24 team in the country, which is once again why I don't like preseason ratings, because they're never right. Because UTSA should have been ranked, and they should still be ranked after this game. But after the game, we heard from the players, and you know, it's time to move on. But they didn't like the way it ended.
There were just some big time moments against a really great team that you just can't make those kind of mistakes against. It's part of the learning curve, and it was a tough one to learn on because we really thought we played so great for so long.
We just never give up, and I kept telling the guys, keep believing. If we get the opportunity, we got to go out there and try our best, and that's what we did. I'm proud of those guys. We came up on the losing end, but I definitely will go to bat with these guys each and every week, and I'm proud of them.
All right, so here's the thing. Now they go on the road to take on the Army.
Yeah.
But Houston goes to Lubbock to take on Texas Tech.
Wow.
So that means the Red Raiders will take care of those Cougars for you guys over at UTSA. So don't worry, we'll take care of them for you.
Okay. I'm sure UTSA would have rather still had the win, David.
That's all right. Well, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? We just heard there from Frank Harris. I mean, this guy is as cool as a cucumber because even in late game situations, he always makes the proper play. He always does a great job. 337 yards passing there. He also had rushing touchdowns down. So yeah, Frank did a great job. And again, it was a great game. It was close. And we'll see if the Red Raiders can do the UTSA a favor here.
Go Tech. And all right, so up at Austin, it was the debut of Quinn Ewers. And the poor guy had a pretty good game. But the big story after the game was not how well he played and the fact that they just, slashed that team. It was the fact he got his car towed. Of all the things that happened to the star player of the Texas Longhorns, he gets his car towed. You'd think somebody would give him the right directions or the right parking spot.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a questioning there, the transportation, the traffic department there on campus, because that was bizarre for that to happen. But of course, UT takes care of business here at home as they get ready for, what's going to be a pretty massive game here coming up.
Yeah, David's been talking about it all morning. I'm like, let me enjoy this win, please.
Yeah, I thought you did. You've had like 2 days, 3 days now. How much more time you want?
I want a couple of weeks.
Oh,
well, you might not get that with Bama rolling into town.
I hate to tell you this, Steph, but Alabama Crimson Tide is rolling into Austin on Saturday morning, and we'll see how that goes. That's number one against unranked.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe
you just said rankings don't matter. David Sears.
I did.
That is true.
Okay.
You did say that.
I did say that. Okay, so let's say they're evenly matched. Here we go. We'll see how that works out for you.
No, but Quinn Ewers had himself a nice debut again, and this is going to be a matchup here of the understudy taking on his old head coach, because obviously Steve Sarkisian was in Alabama for a while there, so it's going to be a good matchup here.
And we're going to throw this in there for Justin, because Justin's always worried about the Aggies, so they had no problem with Sam Houston State this weekend. They got the big win there in Aggie land. Who they played next week? Appalachian State.
Yeah, which is a good squad.
Yeah, because they gave, what was it, North Carolina State? North Carolina?
And I'll just point out to Steph that we beat Alabama last year. I just throw that in there.
Okay. That doesn't make me feel better.
Doesn't really help the situation.
And real quick, big news over the weekend that all these commissioners and all these committees, they decided that the college football needs a 12-team playoff. Yeah. What took so long, we got no idea, but they decided that this is going to happen. Right now, they're looking at 2026. However, they might be able to move that thing up to 2024.
Yeah, going big for sure. And we knew that it would go from 4 to maybe 8, but they just decided, you know what, we're going to do 12 here. So, a lot more teams that are going to be in the mix here, including maybe UT, A&M down the line. We'll see. We'll see how it works out.
But one of the questions now is, will the Alamo Bowl be part of the playoff? Because the first 4 teams get a bye, so then it's 5 through 12 playing in the first round. So then there'll be, 4 more games after that. So there's a possibility that the Alamo Bowl could be part of that playoff system.
They should be.
Great.
They do a great job hosting the game every year, so I think that would be a good call there. Add them into the mix a little bit.
We'll have to wait and see. See if we can get it moved up.
Fun college weekend.
Yeah, to see if we can get that moved up to 2024. Work on that. All right, Steph. Well, Steph will work on it for you because she's a UT alum. You know how they are. They can get anything done.
Yeah, we'll see. Time now, 9:40 and 78 degrees for now. Here's a look at what's coming up next.
An East Side community farm providing locals hundreds of nutritious foods is now going to help the community build more gardens. How it's impacting their lives, helping them express themselves and connect to others after the break.
Hi, welcome back. Time now is 9:44. An East Side community farm is increasing access to healthy foods and improving nutrition.
Garcia Street Urban Farm has helped hundreds of San Antonians learn about nutritious food and is now working with other groups to help them build their own garden.
And Tiffany Huertas joins us live now from the community farm located on Garcia Street and Wyoming Street. So Tiffany, what are some of the benefits of starting a garden?
Good morning, David and Stephanie. Well, it's not only about food. This is allowing people to express themselves, connect with others, and even save some money with a budget. Just take a look at this right behind us. Right now, they're getting ready for the fall season. To talk a little bit more about this, we have Giovanna. Good morning, Giovanna. Talk to us about what type of changes that you've also seen in people that come here and help.
I feel that we see a lot of people that come back to our space just excited and ready to work, ready to learn. I think people don't really understand what it takes to run a space like this until they get here and they start, getting in the dirt with us and learning. And so it definitely inspires so many things. It inspires them to start their own spaces, their own gardens, whether it's on a balcony or in a yard. It's just inspiring people to do so many great things.
What are we seeing here? What are you growing?
So this is our market garden behind us. You will see we have Dia de los Muertos flowers. So we have cempasúchil, or marigold as some people know them, celosias. We have greens that are going to be planted very soon. We have tomatoes over in that area. We have cucumbers, as well as, what else is going on back here?
There's a lot going on.
Actually, that's about it for now, and then we start putting other things within the ground through the season.
And people can come here and buy the products, right?
Yes. So in October, we're going to start our market stands, which are in the evenings from 5 to 8 p.m. on Wednesdays, all the way till December 7th.
Talk to us about how you've all been helping the community build their own garden.
So we have been working closely with AME, which is the African American Methodist Episcopal Churches of San Antonio. They have really wanted to grow in spaces at their churches, right? They have all this extra land. And so their idea was, let's start creating gardens in our spaces so that we have food to supplement our food pantries. And so we are almost done with one. We will unveil it this Friday. It's at AME Emmanuel off of 1600 Semlinger Road. If you're in the area and you want to see the garden, please stop by on Friday morning.
And if someone wants to learn more, where can they find out more information?
So we have our website. If you go to the San Antonio College website, you can look for us in the search engine under Garcia Street Urban Farm. You can go on Instagram. We are under Garcia Street Urban Farm, as well as Facebook.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We're going to have more details on how this is impacting the community. This is a beautiful space. Thank you for welcoming us. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Tiffany.
All right, Justin, here's the question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
If you're going to have a robust garden, if you're going to have some big tomatoes and carrots and everything else, what do you need most, Justin?
I don't know. What do you think, David?
I'm thinking rain.
Nice. We did get some over the weekend. There was some good rain. We need more, though. We need more. The soils are still fairly dry, and we could use, at least here in San Antonio, we can use quite a bit more before we jump into the rain forecast.
I thought that was a good question.
It's not bad.
You're on it.
Let's talk about tropics. August was surprisingly quiet, and now as we head into September, you would expect things to pick up, and they are as we look into tropics. Let's first start in the Pacific. We've got Hurricane K. This one is interesting because it's going to move north and actually get close to California. You don't see that very often. There's colder waters up there, and it will weaken by the time it gets up there, but it will throw a little bit of moisture in their direction. Southern California potentially, as it is expected to become a Category 2 storm before it weakens some. That would happen over the weekend. Meantime, in the Atlantic, we've got Hurricane Danielle. This is moving into cooler waters. That's going to fall apart. And Tropical Storm Earl, which is going to strengthen a little bit, probably into a hurricane before it moves out over open waters. Thankfully, these really aren't affecting land. I mean, Earl may brush Bermuda there, but other than that, this is not going to have any huge effect. We've got another couple of areas out there that we're watching too. 60% chance for this particular wave as it moves northwest. And then for this area, that's for a wave that's coming off of Africa that may eventually move into a more favorable position. All things we'll watch, but certainly nothing that has any imminent concern. Let's talk rainfall now. And David just mentioned that we could use some more. Certainly could. Since September 1st to the airport, 0.92. We are now above average for the month. We'll see how long we stay there. But for the year, 8.14. We are still 13 inches in the hole. We've got a lot more rain, and we need a lot more rain to dig out of this deficit. And I got to tell you, there's not a lot in the forecast other than maybe tomorrow. So go outside for you right now. Partly cloudy, 77 degrees. Dew point is at 70, so still humid with westerly winds at about 6 miles per hour. Feels like 79. In the cloud cover, you can see a little area of morning clouds or clouds that have popped up here over Bexar County, and those stretch out into the hill country. Carrizo Springs, Eagle passing quite a bit of cloud cover this morning. And then clear skies as you go east, and then some showers and storms along the Texas coast, as we showed you earlier. Temperatures upper 70s now. We should be in the 80s here soon. I think we jump into the 90s by this afternoon. It'll be a hot and humid day. Dew points fall off a little bit this afternoon, but not enough to where we won't see a heat index. I think you'll have to tack on a couple of degrees for that feels like number. The good news here is that we will, I think, see lower dew points in the afternoons as we head later into the week. area, upper level low here, that is moving away, sort of falling apart. We've got some dry air on the backside of that. And then you see the big ridge out west. That's why we're seeing all those big hot temperatures, the record heat out across the west. We're watching this system up here in Minnesota. That drops down into Texas tomorrow. That gives us that chance of rain I was talking about. And as we look at the computer models here, 10% chance today. And then as we head into tomorrow, we're going to bring that up to a 20% chance by 2 p.m. and then a 30% chance into the afternoon hours. So a little better opportunity for some rain on your Wednesday. And then after that, again, rain chances really fall off. So 87 degrees by noontime, 93 by 4 p.m. And then we'll see our high temperatures today right around 93 or so with just a 10% chance of rain. Extended forecast, 94 tomorrow, 30% chance of rain, 95 Thursday and Friday and Saturday. So some hot temperatures to finish out the work week, guys.
All right. Well, we had our chance of rain, so we'll take that.
Yep.
Thank you, Justin.
9:51 and 79 degrees. And as we head to break, we're going to take a look at the roads, and look at there.
Yes, we were looking at this earlier. This is the holdup here at I-35 at Wiener. Things are still moving, just kind of slow right now.
It's hard to tell exactly what's causing the slow traffic because it's all behind the street signs. But once they get past the street signs, it starts moving. So
a little bit more, yeah.
All right.
Be careful out there. Hi, welcome back. It is 9:54, and our crews have been out at Uvalde all morning long.
Yeah, we're going to take you back to Uvalde for a quick wrap-up of what they've seen and what they've heard today. Mark, Sarah?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning, guys. Good to see you. Did you have some questions for us?
Well, we were going to ask a little bit about the feel. We saw the video of the kids coming to class and the teachers welcoming them, and some of the kids were excited, but like overall, you know, because you kind of see the bigger picture, what was the feel today?
Well, Sarah and I would probably tell you right off the bat that things have gone well this morning. We knew that there would be some parents that were not happy to see us here, and we just experienced that just minutes ago before we came onto the air. A man drove by very upset that we were here so close to campus but not on campus, and I get it. I'm totally respectful of that, of course.
Yeah, no, emotions definitely are high, and they range anywhere from little first graders excited to start school and get back to normalcy, parents anxious. That a lot of the response I got from parents was like, oh, anxious, nervous, don't know how they feel about school safety. But they said the one thing that's easing them is that there's some of those little kids are excited to go back.
Yeah, and on the flip side, yeah, definitely I saw some parents today very hopeful, very cheery about being back. Not to mention the staff here, welcome them with open arms, guys.
All right, well, thank you for the coverage all morning long. I know it's a little different. You can even see the state trooper vehicle behind you, but thank you for bringing us the very latest.
Yeah, and we just hope that all those students all over Uvalde have a great school day today and their first day back. So thanks for your coverage, and thank you for watching. We'll see you back here on KSAT 12 News at noon.